What's the case for Ajagba to win?
He is going to try and outbox Bakole.
And obviously, I think he's the leaner. So if he's 6'6", 240, he's probably going to be in better shape.
I don't know whether Bakole's image has been tarnished a little bit
by the park fight.
Yeah.
Although I think Bakole's engine is better.
Yeah, he has got a good engine because he doesn't waste a lot, Bakole.
What do you think happens afterwards, where they go on to?
He could fight Joshua.
Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to look at the upcoming fight between Martin Bakole and F8 Ajagba. This has taken place on the Canelo Skull undercard on May the 3rd, 2025 at the venue in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Let's start with a tail of the tape. Bakole has 21 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, 23 fights in total. 16 of those wins by KO. He's age 31. He's 6'3", 6'6", 198 centimeters, and he's got a 77, just over 77 inch reach, 196 centimeters. It's in the heavyweight division, so Bakole normally fights around between 280, 290, although in his last fight he was 310 pounds, although I think that was without a training camp, so he's normally around about 280, 290. He's a big guy, and he fights out of an orthodox stance. Ajagba has 20 wins, 1 loss and 0 draws, so 21 fights in total, 14 wins by KO. He's age 30. He's also 6'6", 198 centimeters, and he's got an 85-inch reach, 216 centimeters. So there's a significant reach advantage. He normally fights around about 240-ish, 230, mid-230s to 240. And he also fights out of an orthodox stance. And this fight is a final eliminator for the IBF World Championship. So, Simon, comeback fight for Bakole. I think the last fight was basically against Parker was, credit to him for filling in, but I don't think he was any sort of state to really fight. Or do you disagree?
No, of course he wasn't. Just got off at flew halfway around the world, landed and went straight into a fight. Of course he wasn't in any fit state. Yeah.
Because if we take it out of that, he's got a good record, and then his only real loss is Michael Hunter back in 2018, and then he's basically done quite well since then. I think the Jared Anderson one was the one that put him on. Everybody's sort of radar.
Yeah, that's his biggest win. I think it was the fashion of that win that did it.
Yeah. It wasn't just a win, it was the fact of the way he won. It was just I think set Anderson back and moved him, propelled him forward. And Ajagba's is only against Frank Sanchez, who's a really, really good boxer. A 10-round fight, and it was...
He got beat? Didn't he get beat?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Did I say win? I meant loss. His only loss against Frank Sanchez for Ajagba. So unfairly one-sided, but we know how good Frank Sanchez is as a boxer. So yeah, other than that, he's done okay. His last fight against Guido Vanello. Which,
this is just two big units going on at this.
Yeah. So we're going to see. So what's our cases for him? What's the case for Ajagba to win? Your significant reach advantage, if the measurements are correct.
Your measurements are wrong, because I've got Ajagba as...
That's why I said if they are correct.
I've got Ajagba as 6'5" and 88-inch reach.
Yeah, which just seems to be ridiculously wrong, because that's why I've got on the Box Live is that, and Box Rec is 6'6" and 85. But it's still...
Yeah.
He's got at least 77, so like a 7-inch, and it may be more. reach advantage. And obviously, I think he's the leaner. So if he's 6'6", 240, he's probably going to be in better shape than, at least on paper, better shape. Bakole is, far bigger guy. What's the game plan for the Ajagba? Should we work that out first, and then we can do Bakole's? So box. Do you want to get into a brawl? I think you more box properly, isn't it? Boxing behind his jab. Keep.
I don't know if it's.
Or do you think you're going to go for a scrap?
It's hard to say
because for its size, he hasn't got loads of KOs at Ajagba.
No. I think it is going to be. He's not a plodder, Ajagba. He's not going to plod forward, I don't think. I think he is going to try and outbox Bakole.
I think that's going to be the game plan. I think if you go for a brawl, don't you think Bakole's got the favour? I would say Bakole's got the favour in a brawl.
I don't know whether Bakole's image has been tarnished a little bit
by the Parker fight.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Do we really take that into account? I'm sort of ignoring that because
no, people ignore it, but I don't think
because he was even though he's heavy, he's 20
I think
pounds
people
more
were
than
maybe
normal.
Expecting Parker to win on points. I don't think they were expecting him to spark him clean.
It was shot to the top of the head.
Still sparked him clean.
Yeah. Well, it was like that moment with Ruiz and Joshua, wasn't it? Yes. It was that way. They're not just a spark of such. It's more like disoriented them to the point where they don't know where they are. And I think I think the referees were also conscious that he had that, because if you look at his fight against Anderson, where he looked really good, he was 280.
Yeah,
285 pounds.
Let's go from
against
that.
Parker. He's 310. That's
he boxed really well against
25
Anderson.
pound difference.
He was a good counter puncher against Anderson.
So I'm expecting him here to be more closer to the 280, 290 pound, where he, and fight like that Anderson one where he was, there he looked, like I said, that's the one that propelled him up. I'm ignoring the Parker one. And then it becomes an interesting contest because you've got we might see some really good boxing because both of them have a bit of boxing, despite the size, both of them have a little bit of a boxing skill as well. It's not just brute force. Which you'd expect from the size.
Yeah, I think what Ajagba, I think his plan would be try and keep him on the end of the jab. And I think they're hoping Bakole will start to tire in the fight.
I would think if the corner are going to make it, it's going to be basically box. Bakole slows down a little bit until tires out, say by the midways, and then he can turn it on. Then you can slowly turn it on, and even if he boxes, go for it. You can go for a points win. Points win. Yeah, points win.
You can go for a points win.
I think going for a knockout would probably be you're playing into more Bakole's hands. I think that would be the thing. It's a bit like the tactics you'd use against Zhang. But once past 6 rounds. Although I think Bakole's engine is better.
Yeah, he has got a good engine because he doesn't waste a lot, Bakole.
Yeah, he's very efficient.
Yeah, he doesn't waste a lot anymore.
Because I'm hoping it's the one that thought Anderson turns up, and then Ajagba turns up in best version. This could be a really, really good fight.
Well, Bakole's got...
Well, we're going to Bakole. What's his?
Bakole had the reputation of the most avoided.
Yeah.
Man money, no one wanted to fight him. I think that's been a bit...
Well, if you take his, it's 19 wins, it's 16 by KO. He's got more of that pop.
He hasn't got the best resume, though.
No. It's only nowish, really.
Yeah.
I think when he stepped up before, because Hunter was the main big guy there who was, big name. Up till that point, it's not... it's not nobody's, but it's not great. And then, even then, until he stepped up to Takam, and then he's got...
Takam is...
But Takam was sort of on the older side of there. And then Anderson, like I said, the real fight is Anderson and then Parker. You got Takam, Anderson, and Parker. Takam already beat Anderson, was his best performance, and then Parker, but he wasn't prepared. So, and Ajagba's is similar. Where he's really stepped up is Sanchez, but he got outboxed. They're not that far apart.
No, it's a good fight.
If you take Parker out in the thing, and then, like I said, his big one was because obviously Anderson was one of the contenders, and he's he demolished him basically. That was like an epic performance. So I think Bakole will want to make it more of a take advantage of his size, make a bit more of a scrap. Do you think he's going to be careful now because of what's happened with Parker? Because I think before he wasn't that worried about most people's power.
No, it's not. No, I don't think so. I think no, because I think he was just he wasn't in shape for that. This is different.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try and put on a show. He's got to. It's an IBF eliminator. We know what
it's a big chance for both of them, isn't it?
We know what the IBF are like.
Yeah.
Of pushing their mandatories.
There's a lot riding on it.
Hell of a lot for both fighters.
Yeah.
But a little bit more for Bakole because I think he wants to, I think he's a little bit.
Well, I think he got on the radar and then that little stepping in.
Yeah.
But I think that was, I think you take it, but it has tarnished it a bit. He's got to get back on the radar. And then he is like the, one of the main, he's in that main contender group with the Parkers and the Coes and stuff. I think with Ajagba, he's been quietly coming up. It's not really got that level. This will be a step up in, well, this is probably the best opponent he's fought, Ajagba.
Yeah, definitely.
It may not be the best opponent Bakole's fought, but I think it's a tough fight for both of them. I think it's an interesting fight, and it is quite close. Should we go to where am I? There I am. Odds. Let's have a look. Be interested to see what it is in this. Yeah, it's not that far. Bakole is favourite, but 2-7 minus 340, and Ajagba is 5-2, so plus 250. It's quite close. And on their predictions, 60% Bakole, 40% Ajagba. So Bakole 50% by KO, Ajagba 30% by KO, 10% decision for Bakole and 10% decision for Ajagba. Would you say that's?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, to be fair.
It's a close fight.
No, Ajagba's got the fastest ever win on record.
Has he?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
1 second.
1 second?
Yeah.
How did he get that?
The bell rang, and the guy walked out the ring. True fact.
It's impressive.
Curtis Hunter, I think his name was. Ding, ding, and jumped out the ring.
Curtis Harper.
Curtis Harper
was disqualified for walking out of the ring immediately after bell rang. Well, you learn something new every day.
There you go.
There's some fun fact for you viewers.
Full of crazy stupidness.
Harper was bigger as well, 254 pounds.
I think it was a pay dispute or something. I can't remember off the top. At first, I remember watching it when it happened, and I was like, he's absolutely dropped the log and he's scared of this guy, which he would be because Ajagba is a unit, to be fair.
Well, I think he'd had 5 wins by KO at that point, didn't he?
So yeah, there you go.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
So that's the odds. Predictions then. Shall we go? Interesting one, this, isn't it?
Bakole's going to stop him in round 3.
Okay. I need to pick one that I go the opposite way on, innit? Is this the one? I think Bakole's going to have that bit too much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go round 7 KO for Bakole. So, let us know what you think. Ajagba or Bakole, how you think it's going to go. in the comments.
It is a good fight. On paper, it's a good fight.
Yeah. Has the potential to be an epic dust-up. Let us know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think of this. What do you think happens afterwards? Where they go on to?
Bakole.
Well, it's an IBF eliminator, so do you think, obviously, there's talk of Usyk Dubois for July the 12th
possibly tight.
to undisputed, and then do they become, and then we know how the IBF are pushing
he
their...
could fight Parker again.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be good to see them, the winner of this, fight Parker, to get him into that mix.
Well, no, they might fight Parker again, but just been saying, let's see how you do when I'm in shape.
Yeah. Well, if Ajagba wins, do we see that as well as a fight?
No.
Okay.
But
well, he's going to be IBF eliminator, so probably it's a good place for Parker to be.
I know there's been talks of...
Only because we know that...
He could fight Joshua.
I mean, I think both of us are of the opinion that really the Dubois-Parker match should take place to fight Usyk. But obviously, I think
different.
That's not going to happen now.
No.
So if Usyk-Dubois happens, do you think the winner of this then... Because Parker's got to keep busy as well.
No.
Who else do you see Parker fight?
Forget Parker.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they want to do a fight in Africa.
Okay.
So I think AJ might come into the mix with this, and there'll be a big fight in Africa, possibly.
Rumble in the jungle. Part
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the Saudis want to do in all the places in it to build up, not just in one place audiences, which you're trying to do. I think that would sort of fit the... especially depending on the performance we get. If you get an epic performance here, if you get like Bakole's against Jared from either guy, I think then, that really hypes up that fight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a big payday and a big enough fight for AJ to come back into. Yeah, I can see that. I can see the thing. And it'd be good to see big fight, rumble in the jungle again.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Okay, let us know your thoughts, what you think is going to happen next. And thank you very much for watching. We shall see you in the next one.